Hello, everybody. This is Mike from MBoxWave.com, and I just got into a short position on this morning's E-mini S&P 500, and so I'll just go through the analysis and setup that I saw. So markets opened, a little bit over half an hour ago. And I got in right here. Usually I get in on a swing high, swing low, but this is actually a breakdown um, of price. So it's a little different from what I usually do, but I've been also doing this, and it seems to be working out in my trading. All right, so looks like we're already over 1,000 in profits. So basically, the market's opened here, and we had some demand growing, right? You can see it was growing, right? And then as soon as the markets opened right here, we got all this selling, right? So, I'd say this is our supply. So this is our MBox supply. And when we came back up, we had this, look at this, we had a buy imbalance and a signal right here, right? But, and let me write this and then I'll explain what's going on. We had a buy imbalance plus a pullback signal, right? But here's the key but there's no demand right here. There's no demand at all right? No demand. And in fact, when we reached this point here, it wasn't a higher high, but it was a swing high. When we reached here, we had a sell imbalance right here, this minus 73, and we had a sell imbalance here in the MBox delta because the blue box is below 0. So we had a sell imbalance here, and we had a MBox. So this is a minus 73 sell imbalance. So we're trying to watch the markets at the same time. So that's the wrong color. All right, and we also had a sell imbalance here. Okay, looks like we're getting into view of my take profit level, which is this orange line here. That's my take profit. All right, so the thing is, so we had this initial supply came down. When we came back up, there's no demand. In fact, we see these sell imbalances, so why is price going up? So that's a divergence, right? We also saw a lot of cumulative selling right here. All right, so why was price going up? I mean, that's a divergence. So when it started coming back down, and I saw, see, this was a buy imbalance plus pullback signal, but you wouldn't trade that because there's no demand here. In fact, it gives us actually a bearish confirmation because price started to come down, and we broke down below. We broke down below this area, so this became not just a buy imbalance and pullback signal. This became a failed it became a failed buy imbalance and pullback signal. All right, so this is actually becomes bearish. So all this becomes supportive of further downward movement, right? So as price broke down here, and I got in here after this bar came back down, right? If we zoom in, we came down here and we broke this low. I got in, when price is coming back down here, it looked like we're breaking through this level, and I put my stop right above it. So, there was no swing point here, like I normally do, but that's okay because I was using this as a, breakdown level right here, and as price broke down, put my stop above that candle. All right, and as we can see, supply is expanding here. Supply is expanding. And it's also expanding again in the cumulative delta. Looks like we're getting close. Here we have no demand. No demand. Here we have more selling. All right. And, when this whole movement began, I also want to show that we had huge pace of bids, right? So this confirms this whole picture and the trade that I took, that the bids were outpacing the offers, from the beginning of the market open. We had some pace of offers here, but there was no demand to back it up. No demand in the cumulative delta, no demand in the MBox delta, plus we had these sell imbalances. So this is actually at a divergence. Looks like we just hit it. All right. So this pace of offers is not backed, is pace of offers not backed by any demand. All right. So all the analysis I saw was congruent with the position I took. Now, let's talk about my exit, which just happened here. All right. So by the way, we made over $8,000 in profits. That's good. So when I drew this line, this take profit line, this was, I saw that in the earlier morning hours here, 3, 4 a.m., 5 a.m. Price bounced around this here as a supported. This, right here, right here, right here, right here. So this area acted as support. So, if I zoomed out further, this seemed like a good area because price came to this level several times. I guess maybe I could have used this right here as a level, but I wasn't sure if that was going to hit it because this was the previous congestion zone, and this seemed likely that it's going to hit. So this was the previous support and congestion zone, so I used that as take profit. All right, so we can see if I zoom in, so this is where I got in, and this is where I got out. All right. So so that was very quick. Actually, I got in here at 10:06, and we're out at 10:14. So that was about 8 minutes. So I mean, that's it for me today. I made my goal, which is over 5 grand. It's 8 grand today. So let's just do a quick recap so I can explain things again while I'm not having to watch the trade. So, before the market opened, we had a climb. We had this sort of demand here and here. But as soon as the markets opened, we had this sell-off. We had the MBox supply, cumulative selling, right? We had the pace of the bids. Then as price came up, we had this buy imbalance and pullback signal, but there was no demand. So this was not something that I would buy, right? I would not take that trade. Price climbed up. no higher high. This became a sell imbalance, minus 73, which means there was more selling on this up wave than buying. We saw no demand in the MBox delta, plus we saw sell imbalance in this box. So the MBox delta showed a sell imbalance. The pace of offers kind of peaked up here, but it's not backed by any demand. So this becomes bearish, right? This becomes, failed also. This is a failed pace of offers. As we broke down here, since we weren't backed by any demand, this became a failed buy imbalance and pullback signal. And so I took a short on the breakdown of this level right here. If we look, pretty much we broke down here. Well, I got in just a tad after that. But, basically I got in on this breakdown right here and wrote it out until we hit the previous level of support right here, this congestion zone. I see that price further went down, but, there was a solid exit, and as price was coming down, we see an expansion of supply. All right. So I'm always watching these levels, right? Right here, that's my exit because that made sense. All right, so that's it for me today. I'm happy with today's results. Markets are not moving as wildly as they were, a couple weeks ago. So, the profits are more in line with what I was making before, over 5 grand, 5 to 10,000. When markets are stable, that's my usual number. Anyway, that's it. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and see how you can trade breakdowns or breakouts using the MBox indicators, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.